Hey guys, it is Ben, aka the Fusebox. It is time once again for another Fusebox Engaged, and I am bringing on a recurring guest I have had on many times. She is very kind and very fun to talk to. Please welcome, you all know her, you all love her. It is the Libertarian Goth.
Hi. Thank you for having me back on.
Well, thank you for coming back on. Hell, what's
Yeah,
going
anytime.
on?
Oh, not much. Same stuff, different day. But sometimes it's not always the same stuff. That's what's kind of exciting in this world.
That's very vague, but it's also very true.
Yeah. Every day's a new day, but it's also the same kind of day at the same time.
Yeah, I've been jumping around all over YouTube and everywhere I can go, promoting the hell out of Outlaw Nights. And I've become a whore. I've become a media whore, and I'm okay with that. Hell.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Speaking of which, for everybody watching right now, the link to Outlaw Nights issue 2 is linked in the live chat. Click on it, check it on out. You will be glad you did. Space pirates, guns, sexy people. We've got it all. So yeah.
It looks exciting. Yeah.
So yeah, we're having like a nice casual stream for the most part. I wanted to ask about your opinion on a lot of what I've been seeing on social media, particularly on X. I'm seeing a lot of racial talk in terms of not the fake racism that people complain about, but like actual people going around claiming that, black people are subhuman and the Jews are in charge are running everything. And I'm seeing the term black fatigue showing up. And
right.
I don't know. It kind of blew my mind that we're kind of back at that spot.
Well, I've been around the internet for quite some time. Probably longer than I should have, gone online probably a lot younger than I probably should have. And ever since the Wild West days of the internet, there's always been edgelords, and I understand what you're saying, that not the fake kind of racism, that's the real stuff. And some of this stuff, I'm sure is genuine, because there's racists everywhere. That's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure some of it's probably genuine, and some of it's probably edgelords really pushing the envelope to really, make it as legit or seem as legit as possible. So there's probably a bit of that, but there's also people who like the black fatigue thing. From what I can understand, black fatigue, it's not meant to be racist. The black fatigue, from what I understand, is meant to be more of community accountability, more than like a race thing. Because people a lot of times think and see races have their own communities. A lot of different races have their own communities and cultures, but it's not necessarily because of the color of their skin or their features that they act a certain way. It's a culture thing. Like, I'm Latina, and there's certain things that people in the Latino community do. But if I was born Latina and was adopted by, say, a Caucasian family, it's not like I would have certain behaviors just because of it. It's culture. And so that's what I'm picking up from the black fatigue thing. But some of the super racist stuff, I feel most of it is probably edgelords with some actual racists in there.
I can see that. I guess it kind of took me by surprise, because what annoys me about it is it gives ammunition to the people who claim that everything is racist.
Yeah, and in some way, I think in a way that with the edgelords, maybe it's a way to drown that out. To say, okay, you're gonna say everything and everyone is racist. Let's overdo it. Let's just like cry wolf to the point where like like you're saying, you're crying wolf to the point, okay, let's just overdo it. Sure, if you're going to say everything's racist, let's just make everything racist to the point where it's not going to be a thing anymore.
I mean, I can see that. It just feels like I don't think that that's going to be what the effect is ultimately.
Yeah, yeah.
I could see how that might be where they're coming from. I don't think it's going to end well.
Yeah, and honestly, for a lot of people are going to get canceled, and that's going to suck. But there's people that are going to be thinking that it's all legit. Whenever I can guarantee it's not all legit. If you know internet culture, been around the internet as long as I have, edgelords are a thing. There's people that are always going to try to push the envelope and push the limits of free speech, and that's the beauty of free speech, is that if you see somebody pushing the envelope of free speech to the point where you were like, I don't like that, you don't have to necessarily associate with them, and you know who is going to push it. If you want to be near people that push it, then you don't have to. At least you know the people to look out for.
I can pick up what you're putting down,
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with that. I get, like, I do think that, I think a lot of it is also probably just like, you've had the extreme of where it's like racism against white people has been basically made mainstream for a while now. And so it's like, okay, well, that's going to push people towards the other opposite extreme.
And that's probably exactly what it is a bit of a backlash, because no form of racism should be mainstream towards Black, white, Asian, anything. No form of racism or discrimination or prejudice should ever be mainstream. And yet, you're right. Racism against white people have, and it seems like it's kind of just a backlash in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, I just I'm waiting for the days when, like, when is shit gonna level out again?
Oh goodness.
When are the 90s coming back?
I do miss the 90s. I think when things start to chill out, when you get people benefiting off of using race as clickbait or using race to sell, whenever people stop getting so emotional about it to the point where people can benefit from it by shilling off of it in any kind of way, whichever way it is, then I think it will probably start to calm down then.
Oh, so never.
Well, it depends on if society finally gets sick of it. Which I think a lot of people are.
Well, Jesus de Quixote, he says that for whom the bell tolls is one of my favorite Metallica songs. I was not referencing Metallica, but I'll go with it. I was referencing an old poem because I confused The Raven with another poem, and that's how we got into this mess.
Yeah. Oh, The Raven. Yeah, I got my little raven right here. Can't see it on that side, but yeah, my little raven. Nevermore.
Trig, you just quoted my father. My father taught me a long time ago. He said, "I'm not racist. I hate everybody." And that's the way we all should be.
Equally hate everybody. And that's how I feel about my foreign policy opinions, is that we should defund everybody equally.
I am definitely on board with that, because I think, we are spreading this little empire way too thin.
Oh, yeah. Much.
Yeah, and like that's the thing that annoys. Yeah, because I know like recently, it's come out. More fun with the Republicans. They've been they've been putting the kibosh on a bunch of Doge cuts, which it's like, really.
They praise Doge at what it's out of their mouth, and then they refuse to cut the money that Doge cut out the other side of their mouth. And if that doesn't show you how two-faced the GOP is, I don't know what will.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. I guess in some ways I lean libertarian, but in some ways I'm kind of like a blend of all three. That's the best way I can put it.
Some people can say libertarians kind of have some leftist leanings in the simple fact of when it comes to society, because we're like, we don't really care what you do, just, you know, don't hurt anybody. And I don't necessarily even consider that to be a leftist ideal, but some do. I was a libertarian leaning conservative for quite some time until the bump stock ban. That's whenever I was like, nope, I'm out of it.
God.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I feel like it's like for the past few years that, well, like for most of my life paying attention to political stuff, it seemed like the left was always, you know, castigating the right as being this evil entity. And it feels like a lot of modern Republicans, they're like desperately trying to suck up to the left so that they'll stop picking on them.
Yeah, and that's what people, the term woke right, that I think that's who they're referring to, the ones that do try to suck up to the left and will cave in. The woke right, it's kind of, some people believe in the woke right, some people don't. I do think that there's a lot of people without spines on the right, and some that are just going to do what they want to do and have the R next to their name. And I'm not talking about like the amazing patriots like Thomas Massey, talking about ones like Mitch McConnell.
Well, Mitch McConnell's half alive anyway. I mean, I said
50% it. Alive, 100% turtle.
I would say, yeah, I can get down with that. Blotchin' dragon.
Hi, Mr. Stokes.
Everyone is equally cunty. Lordy.
Yeah, liberal. Because, well, actually, historically, people who are libertarians now were called liberals. But the term liberal was attempted to be co-opted by other people who did not have actual, like, what you would see as libertarian leanings now. So to separate the two, then the term libertarian was coined and kind of went a different direction. So liberal in the sense where, like, people say they're classically liberal, for instance. Like classical liberals kind of, you know, are like more like libertarian-esque. So in a way, yeah, that's really, yeah, you're on point with that, with it really being more liberal. But in terms of modern liberalism is more like progressivism.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, I fell into that trap a long time ago of referring to leftists as liberal when it's like, yeah, it's bastardizing the word, you know.
Right. And the thing is that you can also kind of think of it now as instead of liberalism as in like the classical liberalism, they want like a liberal amount of government in terms of like a lot. Now people try to say that you know, conservatives want a conservative size government, but that's not really so true nowadays, especially with that spending bill.
Oh no. Yeah, I am. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's depressing. The music kind of came down at the right moment there.
Yeah.
Lordy. But yeah, I think I can switch off of that topic for now because I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, the state of the world is pretty depressing, but you know, we just gotta keep on keeping on, keep on trucking.
Oh well, you know, I'm trying to save the world with space pirates. Because
yeah, I think you're
really,
doing a great job of that.
Well, that's the thing. Like most people who haven't backed, like they need to realize if they want world peace, if they want like everything to become sane in this life, they need a copy of Outlaw Nights.
Yeah.
It's what's going to unite us all.
Yes. Beautiful artwork too.
Well, thank you. You know, I can't take credit for the artwork, but you know. 90. Yeah, I would say that that's kind of where I fit. I mean, I even disagree with some of them on a few things, but I'm pretty close to that in terms of my attitude. Because I mean, growing up, I mean, I'm from New Orleans, which is where you know, like having right-leaning opinions, you were in a minority. So you had to go along to get along. And so, you know, having grown up with a lot of left-leaning people, I did kind of have a little bit of osmosis, you know, like, oh, I can see you have a point there. Oh, I don't agree with that. Pick and choose. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was actually a liberal by the time period in the early 2000s. Like, back whenever the left, or at least Democrats, were anti-war because Bush was in charge and was invading Iraq, then they were anti-war. So
Yeah.
I was all on board with that. Yeah, neither of them are anti-war. Maybe except some of the MAGA people. I will say some of the MAGA are trying to, you know, actually bring peace. I feel like Trump is trying to bring peace, but in some ways I feel like
he's doing a lot of chest puffing, which is
that's
not great for cooling off situations all the time.
Right, and that, as well as, you know, helping Raytheon get some deals in Qatar. But I do think that, you know, he's at least kind of trying, and I'll give him like an A- for effort on that, because at least he's trying more than Biden was. But Biden wasn't very alert for 4 years.
Oh, he wasn't alert at all. Let's face it. We were being run by the DNC, not by him.
Exactly, and that's why it was terrible. All their implementing all their stuff, it was terrible. That's why everything skyrocketed and just things just went to crap.
I would say, yeah. I would say that the people, Republican types, don't believe that they're being socialist.
Mm-hmm.
They're being played by the socialists, and they don't realize
they
it.
spend the money on. It's how they spend the money. They both are big government in the sense where they'll take the money, but what they spend it on is different. The conservatives want to spend it on the military, while the left wants to spend it on like whatever, and then fuel it to their cronies. The right doesn't do that, but the left really does that. At least the Democrats do.
Oh, we're going full on gay. This is as gay as it gets, sir. Welcome
Parade
aboard.
starting soon.
I'm an old man. I am 35 years old. I've been around.
I'm older than you.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
I'm 37.
Well, see, all right. Well,
I'm 37. I'm not old.
You got to experience more of the 90s than I did.
Yeah, a little bit. The 90s were wonderful.
I mean, yeah, I could see that.
W. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a low bar. But yeah.
This is a live stream on the Twitters. We're getting fancy.
Yes.
Oh.
Spicy.
Lordy dragon.
Jill.
Her? Oh, yeah, her. She was alive for it. I was alive for it.
Like for
the 2000s.
I am 37 years old. I graduated high school in 2005. So I very much remember the 2000s, the early 2000s. I remember 1996. I remember whenever the Olympics was bombed.
Oh boy.
I remember that. Yeah. 96.
I remember seeing The Lion King in theaters.
Oh, I didn't get to go to see it in theaters.
Yeah, I was like 5 years old and 6 years old. And my childhood ended because Mufasa died in front of me.
Oh. You know, that reminds me of this meme that I saw. Or not really meme, kind of just like this little story photo thing. This little girl loved The Lion King, and she wanted the scene where Mufasa is hanging from the cliff about to die as her birthday cake. Because she said that she wanted everybody to be too sad to eat cake, that she gets the cake all to herself.
That's some 4D chess thinking.
Yeah, that's very smart child. Maybe a future villain.
I have no room to talk because I remembered playing with the little action figures and I reenacted that scene.
Yeah,
playing as a child.
She got the cake though. If I could find it, I'll just DM it to you. It's really funny. It's this cake of Mufasa hanging off the end with Scar over the cake. It's funny.
Well, see, this is a dictatorship. I am your dictator. I will decide who is allowed free speech and who is not. That's the beauty of being a streamer, is you have all this power. Oh, Lord. Trig, how old are you? What are you doing commenting on our age? If you remember the 70s. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Beauty and the Beast came out in 91?
Was it?
I have no idea. I didn't realize
Oh,
it was
so
older
good.
than The Lion King.
Oh yeah, I know that one's older than The Lion King. But wow. 6 years old. They're in the we'll do that math later.
I'm very confused. All right, yeah.
Wow.
I'm the baby.
Oh, tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday. Mr. Stutz is actually an IRL friend of mine. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, Lord.
But mushrooms on pizza is the best. See, that's actually one of my ideal toppings. If I have to, like, if like calories and everything else is not an issue, my ideal pizza is pepperoni, onions, mushrooms, olives.
Nice.
On Papa John's, because Papa John's is the best of all the chains.
See, I'm simple folk. I'm just pepperoni.
Oh, just a simple pepperoni.
I'm simple folk.
But the Supreme Pizza is also great too because it's got like the bell peppers and stuff. I love vegetables.
Well, you're
43.
You're 43. You're older than us.
Same age as Borat's mom. This is my
Really?
mother. She oldest in all the Kusik. She's 43. I love her.
Something about that's, I don't know why, something about that's kind of hot to me. Tater tot?
Tots to dictators.
So- Well, I discard that opinion. That's right.
Tater tots are great. They are better than dictators.
I prefer dictators on social media. Lordy
And
lordy.
drive a fucking board.
Oh
I
lordy.
am in San Antonio. San Antonio area, really, actually.
Oh, San Antonio produces a type of vodka called Tastes Like Chicken. And I know this because I had to sample it at my job.
You get to sample vodka at your job? What kind of job is that? I want to sign up.
Oh no, I didn't get to drink it. I was sampling it for other people.
Oh, that's a tease. That's terrible. Well, does it actually taste like chicken?
No. It's a lie. So y'all are lying over there in San Antonio.
Like olives and pepperoni. That's still a winning combination. Meat lovers pizza with 5 cheeses. Oh goodness. I'd have to like fast the next day after that kind of stuff. but meat lovers pizza is pretty good as long as you got like bacon on there too.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Is that a Latin food?
Yeah. It's specifically Mexican actually. Birria. I actually make quesadilla. It's birria, then I make quesadilla tacos with it. But birria, if you've ever seen me post like these tacos that look kind of orange, because
I believe I have.
you make birria, yeah, you gotta dip the birria tortillas for the birria in like the oil slick of the broth or whatever that is made, that everything stews in, and then you put the meat and cheese in it. But birria is traditionally it's goat, but in the United States it's usually beef, birria de res, which is beef, and it's like shredded, stewed into like spices. It's amazing. Highly recommend it.
BBL. What's BBL?
Back later, Brazilian butt lift, or be back later.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Brazilian butt lift.
Yes. Send it unsub. Is that a person?
I don't know. I don't know unsub.
Are you saying you're gonna unsub from me, Mr. Stokes? Because I don't agree with you. Up in DFW burbs. Blah. Y'all in this Texas lingo. I'm down here in Louisiana.
I love Louisiana though.
It's humid.
I don't eat fish of any kind. Yeah, traditionally it's goat. Yes.
Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, consomme. Yes, that's the word. That's the word. Consomme. I couldn't think of it.
Good lordy. The Unsubscribe podcast.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I've seen like clips of their stuff, but I haven't really, committed to watching them very much. But I definitely know of them.
I think I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever seen them. I'm a tourist, so Well, hell yeah. Eating poor goats.
Oh, for sure.
Broseph. You listen to me, Broseph Stalin. Let me see. I wanted to share real quick, just because I was a fan of Lilo and Stitch. I thought it was an adorable. I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one.
Oh, yeah, you saw my post probably, didn't you?
Did I? I don't know.
I was trashing the original animation of the original Lilo and Stitch.
You didn't like it?
A lot of people got really upset by it. I just don't like the animation style. I thought it was very ugly. It's all unproportionate. I'm not a fan of the original's animation style. I'm not dissing the movie itself, just the animation style.
Well, for me, like, I didn't really give two craps about the story with Lilo. Mm-hmm. I was all about Stitch. Because Stitch to me, like, I loved him because, like, with most Disney villains or antagonists or what have you, they all have very discernible motivations. Like, Jafar craves power. He wants to rule. Ursula wants revenge against King Triton and to rule.
Yeah.
What was it? Scar wants to be king. What have you. Like, they all have very understandable motivations. Stitch, even though he's not a villain, he kind of starts off kind of villainous. Mm-hmm. But his entire thing is like, I destroy because this is what I was made to do. That is just so awesome to me.
It's kind of wild. From what I can imagine, like, he was just kind of like feral.
Yes.
I guess more or less. He was feral.
And I loved it. I loved his look as when he still had his antenna and his multiple arms.
Yeah, it was cute.
I didn't like how he had to hide them.
Mm-hmm.
He should be out and proud.
Yeah, but he did his best to blend it. I think, as far as a character, he blended in pretty good to Earth, and he got a family who I guess tamed him, or what is the word about? Like, domesticated him from being
Yes.
like a little feral alien into a nice domestic little pet or friend or family member.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And so, like, but the whole thing is, I really enjoyed the movie, the original movie. I'll agree that like some of the characters, I don't understand why all of their noses are very large. But
Um.
oh Lord.
Okay, so it's here's the thing is that features wise, Pacific Islanders do have like certain distinct noses, but I do think, like I was saying, the animation style is very ugly. I think he over exaggerated those noses and made them ugly. And like if you see Moana, the animation of Moana, she has that like distinct like little like button nose, just like that is a characteristic common on Pacific Islanders. Moana's beautiful animation, but that's the Lilo and Stitch animator was just he just went ahead and just made their noses huge, and I thought that was like really ugly. It's somewhat disrespectful too. Like I said, it's a signature look on Pacific Islanders, and he just kind of overdid it.
Yeah, I would agree. But I didn't mind the animation so much. I just thought like
it would be so bad.
I thought
like
Stitch
if
was
the animation
cool.
bothers me, I can't watch something if the animation bothers me.
Oh, I totally understand that.
What is it? Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
I could not watch that. I couldn't watch it.
I didn't watch it because I thought like I hate multiverse shit, and I feel like I don't want to watch like multiple versions of Spider-Man from different realities. Like just give me one Spider-Man, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I don't mind multiverse stuff because I'm a Marvel fan in general, but I felt like watching Into the Spider-Verse was like watching a video when you didn't have a very smooth stream, like watching a video online with a slightly glitchy stream. And if you watch it, that's all you'll see from then on, because it's like you're watching something with not the greatest internet connection. It's annoying. And it almost gave me a headache. I was like, I can't watch this.
That's how I feel all about a lot of old shows from Nickelodeon. I didn't like I hate the animation from Real Monsters.
Oh, that was nostalgic for me. I love that one.
Well, there you go. See?
I know.
I tagged you back.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm knocking on Lilo and Stitch, and you're gonna knock on Real Monsters. That's fine.
Well, I mean, I don't mind if you knock on the new Lilo and Stitch, because from what I'm keep hearing, like, in spite of this popcorn-o-meter, I keep hearing people talk about how this new version basically just kind of bled all the substance out of the story.
And which one is the critics and which one is the fans?
Popcorn-o-meter is the fans.
Oh, okay.
So it's very high. And I mean, I'm guessing I'm gonna hypothesize that that's because there's been such a lack of good stuff coming out, with the exception of like Sinners, that people will just like, hey, this wasn't offensive. I'll hit like, yes.
You probably have something. You're on something right there, probably.
Because see, like, what was it? The critic consensus here, capturing the adorable charm of the original, if not quite matching its sense of imagination. See, that's not a good review. That's a disguised bad review.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then that's 69%. I would say nice, but if you're the producers or people who have money in it, that's not nice. But I guess the only not nice of that number, if you have money involved in it. But the fans seem to like it.
Well, it's like I watched a couple of YouTube reviews of it. I haven't seen it, and I honestly don't think I want to see it. Just because, like, yeah, from what I've been hearing, it seems like most of the reviews all say that they took a few moments from the original movie but they kind of took out all of the character drama. It seems like Stitch, right when he gets to Earth or whatever, he's not rambunctious and causing trouble. He just immediately bonds with the little girl. And
that's weird.
But again, it takes all the, part of the thing about a movie is you have to have stakes, and you have to up the stakes, and you have to have conflict that drives the story.
And well, I have heard that they actually took out some crucial parts of the story too.
Yes.
With the aliens?
I think they took out, what was it? They took out Captain Gantu. They turned Jumba into the villain, which, I mean, I can see where you're going to go with that route, but at the same time, I just don't like that. And then also, I think they took out a lot of the drama between the sisters.
That was part of the big thing of it.
Yes. That's the thing. You take out the crux of the story, which is about how they're a broken family.
Like, yeah, and if you don't have that drama, that's because that was also like why she had issues, I guess, keeping her sister like in control to be able to keep her sister.
Yeah.
That's just going to take a lot of the, I don't know, a lot of the heat out of some of the story,
Oh, definitely. Like, that's the thing. Disney seems to have forgotten the fact that a lot of its old cartoon stories, they had deeper messages in them that resonated with that helped kids understand real life, and it also kind of resonated with the adults.
Yeah, but this one, like Lilo and Stitch story, actually has, it's a very adult topic in a way, with the government trying to take Lilo away from her sister because CPS and such. So in a way, it's a very adult kind of thing to approach with children, and I can almost get like trying to take some of the heat out of it because it is a serious topic. But that's, you're going to keep the story or you're not going to keep the story.
Yeah, and that's like they wanted to recapture. Well, that's what all the Disney remakes really are. If you think about it, they're trying to recapture the audience of yesteryear by just being like, look, it's characters it's a story I mean, not really, but we're going to keep parts of it.
Yeah, they could have done something else then besides try to alter this movie, because some of that was crucial and made the story made it so heartwarming.
Yeah. Although if they wanted to do a movie just about Stitch being like, a monster, I would be fine with that too.
Yeah, it would actually be kind of cute too, because I don't think it's the little CGI Stitch. He's not too bad. He's kind of cute.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those movies where you ask, like, why do a live action?
That is true, because you're going to have a CGI Stitch, because it's not like there's any animal that you're going to be able to put in there.
Yeah, and I mean, really, that's the question with all of the Disney remakes. And I think I saw an article, I was trying to find it before we started the stream, but I think it was Variety or somebody who said something to the effect of like, we need to admit that the Disney remakes are nothing but soulless cash grabs. It's like, yeah, we've been saying that this whole time. Where have you been?
Yeah, although I will say I did like Emma Watson as Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I normally wouldn't have, but if you don't try to relate the whole thing of like Belle likes books and reading and smart and courageous, and you're not also a huge Harry Potter fan and try to, make that parallel to her and Hermione, then I can definitely see if you don't like it. But I did like it. Most of it. Not all, but most of it.
I did not watch it.
Oh, just check it out. Check it out. The live action Beauty and the Beast. No. Yeah. You like Harry Potter?
I did, but recent years, with certain ridiculous controversies have soured me towards those actors.
Separate them. Because here's the thing: if you let controversies and cancellations fuel your what you choose for your entertainment, eventually you're not going to have any entertainment. So,
no, I get that. But it's that I kind of pick and choose. It's like there's certain people. It's like, okay, I can separate the performance from who they are, and then there's certain people where I'm like, yeah, no.
Well, I can't watch really Tom Cruise movies anymore. I don't know. Tom Cruise is just insufferable to me. I can't really watch Tom Cruise. So I guess I can kind of.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Well, I was never a big Tom Cruise fan. I thought like, well, he's okay. You know, I liked him in Tropic Thunder.
But yeah, like he's not a bad actor. He's just insufferable.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think a lot of people are cutting him slack these days because of, he's been acting more professional in recent years, but
that's not saying much.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I think the biggest issue is just that we've been so inundated with bad movies or insulting movies that movies that are just slightly kind of mediocre, we're like, oh my God, this movie's so great because we don't have anything better to really run it up against.
Oh goodness, now that you say that, now I feel like that's probably why I thought the Thunderbolts was so good. Because we've been given such mediocre crap Marvel movies for so long that it's almost like, I watched the Thunderbolts and it wasn't absolute garbage. So I was like, oh, it's great, it's wonderful. Because Marvel kind of had
exactly.
slump there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I stopped paying attention to Marvel after WandaVision. I was done.
Even Loki season 2?
I didn't watch any of the Loki. Because I know we talked...
His face?
I know you're a fan of Loki.
His face.
I know you're a fan.
It's right here. I will not watch your show.
He's
gonna be watching you now.
Well, I just think that I liked Loki better when he was when he had more teeth, and I feel like he kind of got the old modern day male treatment of he's been removed of all of his agency, and he's subservient to a female version of himself.
I can kind of see how you see that, but season 2 ends with him really coming out on top. He really develops as a character. There is a correlation you can make from the beginning Loki, from the very first Thor movie, to one of his very last lines in Loki season 2. Now, he will be back for Doomsday. I hear that Loki will be returning for Avengers Doomsday, as will many other stars. Like,
they're desperate. They are desperate. They're going to bring everybody that they can.
It's also Doomsday, though. You know comics, right?
Oh, I know, but I just see. I've explained in a lot of my videos that biggest problem that the MCU hit was right after they introduced Guardians of the Galaxy. Disney, being Disney, if something works in one movie, they have to repeat it until it gets so old. And so their whole thing was like, Guardians of the Galaxy was an unexpected big hit. Why? Oh, it's because of all the comedy. So what do? Every Marvel movie now has to be comedy. We can't have serious dramatic moments. We have to undercut all of it with a cheesy joke.
Not Endgame. Endgame, I cried. So, okay, I'm not ashamed to admit this, that I am beyond healthily, emotionally attached to these Marvel characters. I will admit it. I cried so much during Infinity War and Endgame, especially Endgame. And I cried during the beginning of Infinity War because somebody died.
Well, yeah, I could see how you would do that.
Tears. Like if you were to play like that whole like end game fight scene, the ending one, I would probably cry here on stream. So I'm that emotionally invested in the MCU too much so.
Well, for me, it's that I really did like Thor Ragnarok at first, and then as I thought about it more, I realized like I don't mind having a comedy Thor movie, but don't do it for the apocalypse of Asgard, because
Ragnarok is inevitable though. Even in Norse mythology, it's inevitable.
No, I know it is, but I'm saying like don't make that the comedy movie. Make that like, because I think if you remember, Age of Ultron was establishing a lot of this stuff when Scarlet Witch uses her powers to make them all hallucinate their worst fears. They had that scene where Thor sees Heimdall, who's blind, and he's like telling him like you're leading us all to hell and all. Like that was meant to be a teaser for Ragnarok.
Oh.
And so it's like that was going to be building up to something huge and emotional, and instead Taika Waititi gets in there and hey, let's make it a comedy, eh?
Taika is a great director for comedies. Yeah, he's great for comedies. Like he did What We Do in the Shadows. He did the original movie, and he was also a co-creator in the show. So he's great at what he does, which is comedy. But I can see what you mean about trying to make something like Ragnarok into a comedy. It was still good, but it was kind of too Taika.
Yeah, and again, I didn't like. There were parts of it I really liked, and I feel like if they had done it as like an in-between movie that didn't have such high stakes, it would have worked.
Yeah. It was exciting, and it was like they put like an 80s flair into it, I think. And then what's his name? Jeff Goldblum, right? The guy that was.
Yeah.
I did like the addition of him in it. He's so great. I just adore him. He's just wonderful. And they had Hulk in there, which in the comics, Hulk and Thor kind of have more of a, thing, in like fights and stuff in the comics and whatnot. But yeah, I kind of like how they almost hint at some stuff that they don't actually really cover. Maybe some ideas from that. But like, I don't know. I like that they brought in Hulk for.
I agree with that. I just, again, if they wanted to do the the Planet Hulk stuff, make that separate from Ragnarok. Like,
yeah, Planet Hulk. Yeah. I forget names and stuff, but yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, you're the comic guy. You are the comic guy, so you got my back on that one. But
I'm not an expert. I know the highlights.
The highlights. I can name off stories and scenarios, but naming it, the year, definitely not.
But yeah, like I liked Infinity War a lot. I wasn't super big on how like during the big fight sequence, this was the same problem I had with Civil War, where during the big dramatic fight scene, we have to stop and have witty banter in the middle of a fight. That shit, I don't know.
There's this like small lines of banter where in Civil War, where Hawkeye says to T'Challa, he says, "We've never met before. My name's Clint." He says, "I don't care." Well, it's funny because in Endgame, he remembered his name. He said, "Clint, give it to me." Did you catch that? Like that little connection to Civil War?
I actually did catch that, yes.
Yeah. I thought that was so cute. I was like, oh, he remembered his name.
I just, it's like, if you're gonna build your movie up on like this is a big dramatic moment, don't undercut it with little Joss Whedonisms.
Yeah. I know Joss Whedon really. I think it was Joss Whedon that did it. Really ticked a lot of people off by making it sound like Black Widow was calling herself a monster because she couldn't have kids. People took it that way whenever it wasn't. That's not what she meant when she was talking to Bruce. That whole scene where like, she's trying to go in the shower with him or whatever, or like, yeah. That was like the weirdest little controversy. I was like, are you really trying to twist the words that way to make it sound like that? To get offended at something?
We have to be offended by something.
Oh yeah, there's got to be something wrong with everything. Nothing is pure these days. It's all a purity test now.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, and I don't care about purity tests. I just whatever.
But yeah, I think after Endgame, I was just kind of like, okay, that caps off the series, And I was a little hopeful about the future of it. And I saw WandaVision. I liked most of the beginning because I thought it was unique and it was odd. And I thought, like, we haven't seen this kind of thing before in the MCU. So, like that's refreshing. And then, yeah, I think by the end of it, it was just like, really?
I liked the end. I did like the end because it like I said, I'm very emotionally invested in these characters. It really showed the heavy burden that Wanda carries. She's so powerful, yet she has so much grief. And that's one thing she can't control, is all the bad things that have happened that has given her so much grief and mourning and a sadness. And, she's probably the most powerful character in the MCU, yet, she is carrying such this heavy burden of sorrow. And I really like that development of Wanda at the end of WandaVision.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that the show felt like it was like the show itself was trying to justify what she was doing. And I thought that was really messed up. And the only conclusion I can draw based on the writing style is that they were saying she was right to do what she did because she's a woman.
I didn't get that at all. I really felt like they did shame her for it, because like the entire village was just like telling her about their families and how trapped they felt because they were having to live out her fantasies. So I feel like they appropriately shamed her. I don't think that they really let her get away with it necessarily. However, who's going to come at the end and try to arrest Wanda Maximoff for that? She has to let you arrest her. You cannot just arrest Wanda Maximoff.
I'll arrest her.
Good luck.
I could do it.
Yeah, you have to have like some sort of like high screeching sound thing to keep her like distracted so she can't think.
They should have had Thor arrest her. I would have watched that.
I don't think Thor can take her. She almost killed Thanos on her own. Remember, she like raced him up in the air. She was like throwing off all of his armor. There's no way that Thor could outbeat Wanda.
I believe she's going to be in Doomsday.
Oh, I hope. She's still alive.
I think she's going to be in Doomsday, and I think they're going to introduce, like, they're going to bring in Ian McKellen's Magneto, and they're going to try to play with the idea, because I don't know if you knew, like, in the comics and in the original X-Men stories, Wanda and her brother Quicksilver are the children of Magneto.
Yeah. And that's why I was so confused on how they were going to bring in those characters, and they did. But they found a way. But maybe they're going to try to say it's a multiverse thing. That's her dad's multiverse.
They're going to use that for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a multiverse of madness. That's right. I quoted the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the Ant-Man multiverse of madness, isn't it? No, that was Doctor Strange.
That was Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And Wanda was the villain.
Yeah, but just like with Loki, I don't really see her as a villain either. She just had issues, deep-seated issues. Like Loki had deep-seated issues too. He was never a villain in my eyes. And I don't think Wanda even was a villain then because Wanda is the only person who can take on Wanda. And she did at the end of Multiverse of Madness. She was the only one that could, stop herself.
Thor could do it.
Thor cannot do it.
He's the god of thunder. He can do it.
He's literally a god, yes, but he could not. He couldn't take on Thanos. It took him, Iron Man, and Captain America, and they both got their butts beat. And then it wasn't until Wanda who actually made Thanos fire upon everyone just to get her off of him because she was about to kill him herself.
Hey, he managed to get him in the chest at the end of Infinity War. It was just that if he had gotten him in the head instead, they would have stopped the snap.
Yeah, but Thanos wouldn't have seen that coming. That would have just been a sneak attack, and he should have got him in the head then, yes. But Thor cannot take on Wanda Maximoff. And I will even ask AI, and I will post that on my X about how Wanda could definitely beat Thor. It's not some girl power stuff either. This is the fact that Wanda is legitimately one of the most powerful people in the entire Marvel universe.
I think that the gods should be the most powerful. Because I am theistic. That's right.
You would think, but she's the Scarlet Witch. She's more than just a witch. There's a certain mystical thing to her, and people could even argue how Doctor Strange should be able to beat her because they're both of the mystic arts, but she's at a different level.
Yeah, and
it's beyond natural for her.
Unfortunately for both of us, I'm pretty sure that they said that the most powerful MCU character is what's her name? Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Thanos got her. Wanda could beat Captain Marvel. I don't know if they try to nerf Wanda so much. It's because
they were really trying to sell Captain Marvel as the new leader of the MCU, and nobody wanted her.
No, absolutely nobody. and but the thing is that they're really doing Wanda a disjustice. I love Scarlet Witch and Wanda Maximoff so much. That's a future tattoo of mine. I'm not even kidding you. Wanda is seriously one of my favorites. With Loki. So I can talk all day.
I can totally see that with you, with the Libertarian Goth look. I can, yeah.
Well, it's the character. Like I said, this overanalyzation of my emotional attachment to Wanda Maximoff. How she's got so developed. She's got all this grief in her, and she's just she's so powerful, and she had all these dreams, and she lived her dreams, but only because she made them. Because she's so powerful.
Hell yeah.
But yet it still didn't fix reality.
Well, again, if the show, I think it was what's her face? Photon? Was that her name?
I think.
The
Captain Marvel's friend's
daughter. Yes,
yeah.
That one. In the show. She was the one who I felt like she was speaking on behalf of the writers, in that they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. Oh yes, thank you for releasing your mind-controlled slaves. What a sacrifice.
Well, there's some truth to still be had in that, because the thing is that she can make her own reality, although it's not the reality, but she can still make her own artificial reality to live out her dreams as her own grief coping mechanism. But yet she had to also enslave people at the same time. And she had to give up the ones that she made artificially, which was she made an artificial vision and she made artificial children. And she had to give them up because they couldn't just live in a regular world. They had to live in this immersed world that she had to make. But to make that world, she also had to enslave people.
Ain't right.
No, I don't know.
It ain't right.
No.
And she was friends with Captain America. She should know better.
I know, but she's been through so much.
When you've been friends with Captain America, you have to be morally straight as an arrow.
Oh, no. Nobody's going to be as straight as an arrow as Steve Rogers. Not even Bucky Barnes, his best friend, who is also carrying a lot of grief and hardship in his.
That's my favorite in terms of
Love
emotional connection. Because I felt like the Winter Soldier got gypped.
He did.
Because of the fact that he's been a slave of the Nazis. The world hates him because of what he did, but he didn't really do it. But he still feels guilty over it because he's a good person.
And he remembers it. He remembers all those bad deeds that he was forced to do.
And to me, if they had made him the new Captain America, that would have been a great new spin on it, of he's trying to make up for his past deeds.
Well, he was supposed to take the reins of Captain America in the comics.
Yep.
I think they skipped him and went right to Sam.
Yes. They did. And it was strictly for vain, shallow reasons.
Yeah. And they had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so...
Yeah.
But have you seen Thunderbolts?
I haven't. Just because, again, I just was kind of checked out for the most part.
Oh. Well,
I'm waiting for the MCU to finally die.
Oh no! I just hope they get good again. Thunderbolts wasn't bad though.
Well, I've heard people say that, and I would agree. It's just that, I would agree from what I've heard, but at this, again, I think there's that what we were talking about earlier about how it's we're so used to getting fed crap.
Yeah.
It's there's a movie that's mediocre and you're oh my God, it's so great because I have nothing else to look forward to with movies.
Like the live action Snow White was so bad that the live action Lilo and Stitch is
exactly
good. Well, is it really?
Exactly. But I highly recommend that you rewatch Lilo and Stitch, the original, and you learn to love the animation.
Loving the animation is not going to happen, but I'll watch it again.
And Lord Almighty. So yeah, we have covered the gamut. We have covered everything important in humanity this day.
No, yeah, that's a cute picture though.
Yeah, I'll say from the trailer I've seen, the little girl was a nice little cast.
Yeah.
That's one of the few compliments I'll give it. Hold on. I'm going to play the trailer.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one.
Hey, that's a line from the original.
Is caught in your crosshairs.
Shooting star! I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
What the hell?
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
Get down from there.
Look like an angel.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing? No. Dogs on the table.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Rough.
Here
We are not keeping this thing.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Stitch that.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That was close. I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Agent Cobra Bubbles, we have a blue dog to catch.
No, wait.
Aw.
No. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
Yeah.
Fluffy looks cute.
The Wawa?
I think it looks cute.
Yeah, no, gee, again, trailer was pretty good. But from everything I keep hearing from people, yeah, they're just taking tidbits of the original, kind of skimming through it, and removing a lot of the heavier aspects of the story.
Yeah. I guess the only way to find out is to go see it.
I don't.
Good for yourself.
You need to see it and then tell me about it.
I'll see it eventually, I'm sure. Except I'm not going to see the new like Snow White. I heard it was actually legit terrible.
Oh yeah, no, everybody hates that.
Yeah, I just listen to commentators like, I watch it so you don't have to. I'm like, thanks.
I watch a lot of those nowadays, probably too much, but that's just because like my trust level with new movies is so low.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to spend money on it unless I get confirmation from others that it's not gonna annoy me.
Thunderbolts. I said, check that. Oh no, I know you said you give it up with the MCU, but it's not terrible. I don't know. Did you see the Black Widow movie?
No.
Okay, then don't watch it. You have to see that.
I watched people who painstakingly commented on all of it. Why did you think you were going crazy, Nick? Is it my negative poo-pooing on everything? Oh, Lord Almighty. Well, we are getting at about that time to start wrapping on up.
Yeah.
But before I do, I need to do my really quick shill. So we've got like 300 folks watching. So to all of you out there, I highly recommend you check out a comic series called Outlaw Nights. Here on Indiegogo, we have got issue number 2 funding right now. We have exceeded our funding goal, but we have got to go higher, folks. We've hit the Super Saiyan level. It's time to ascend. It's time to go to Super Saiyan 2. $1,000. Because if we can hit 1K, we will be getting, if I can get to it, we will be getting these stickers. Chibi stickers made by good old 6am Comics. And these will be coming with every order. But we got to hit that 1K stretch goal first. So, yeah, if you have not read issues 1 yet, not a problem. Because we've got issues 1 and 2, both digital and physical, for your viewing pleasure. And I highly recommend it. Outlaw Nights takes place in the 31st century. Humanity has begun colonizing into outer space. History is very much repeating itself as the nations of Earth are all at each other's throats, competing over territory and resources. It is a violent, chaotic time period. And the farther out into space you go, though, the authoritarian governments of Earth are having trouble holding a grip on those colonies. So there has been a massive boom in crime, specifically in piracy. And in the midst of all this chaos, we've got our main character, Cyrus Lawson, who has had a pretty rough go of it in his young life. So he has settled on a small, out-of-the-way, insignificant little colony called Therese. And he's joined the colony guard there. But he's not really expecting a lot of trouble, because, I mean, hell, who the hell would want to go to a small little place like Therese? There's nothing there. It's the boonies. But unfortunately, right from the get-go of issue 1, his little paradise has been burst open as the pirates of the ship Hazard invade his settlement, and they're looking for a special piece of data. And this data is going to lead to a treasure everybody and their mothers got their eyes on. It is a rat race in the making. Issue 2 of 10, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently on issue 2. We are our boy Cyrus has been kidnapped by these pirates. And so now he is getting a first-hand look at the underworld of the 31st century. And he's realizing that his little black and white sense of morality, of right and wrong, may be a little skewed, because let's just say the people he looks up to aren't exactly as noble as he thinks they are, and vice versa. So yeah, I recommend everybody get a hold of Outlaw Nights. It is going to make your life so much better, because we got classic action, awesome looking characters, rising stakes, and we don't have any Marvel humor in it. So yeah, check this on out. So yeah, get on it, ladies and gents. And thank you so much for joining me again, Libertarian Goth. Where can everybody find you?
On X, it's at Libertarian Goth with a 0 in Goth instead of an O. Also, Libertarian Goth on YouTube, Rumble, and Instagram. There is a merch store with the highest or largest alt culture geared Liberty gear at libertariangoth.com, and the new alternativesovereign.com, which is alternative culture and music news with a liberty bias.
Hell yes. And of course, I am your host, Ben, aka the Fusebox. You can find me on Twitter at Fusebox7. You can also find me on Instagram at Outlaw Nights. And you can find me on Facebook under my real name, Ben Fuselier, Fuselier. If you like anything we had to say, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And hell, if you didn't like anything we had to say, if you thought I was just full of it, go ahead and hit the dislike button. Because whether you like us or hate us, it doesn't matter. It feeds us. This is what we thrive on. Attention. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk to you all later.
Bye.